Alright, so I'm just in my car. It's 91 degrees, but I just wanted to do a impromptu video because with my business Elevate, I was chatting a couple weeks ago with the Instagram follower, and his problem with his career was dealing with his parents. And this is a very common problem that a lot of players have, and it's even a problem that I've had, so I just wanted to share my thoughts through video. So I was able to chat with him, give him some pointers, and so I just want to share them here. So when you're dealing with parents, and like I said, I've dealt with it, so I've had to deal with a mom, a dad, and a stepdad. All of them were kind of at different levels of support and objection. I've learned that when it comes to support and objection, it could be a sliding scale. And so I had a dad that was very supportive. I had a mother that was kind of on the fence. And then I've also had a stepdad, or former stepdad now, that was by no means supportive. And for me, the two biggest things were proving each day that I am capable of doing this. And what I mean by that was, one of the best things you could do to handle parents is to show them. You can talk a big game. You can talk about how you want to go sign pro, play pro, go to La Liga, all this stuff. You can talk a big game. But actions always speak louder than words. And so one of the best things to do when you handle objections from parents is to show them. To show them that you're capable. And in order to do that, you have to show them that you have the foundation to make your ambitions come true. And that starts with daily habits. That starts with discipline. So for me, I had to train every day. I treat it like a job. Every day, I trained. Every day, I went to the gym. All my habits were geared towards my dream of playing football overseas in Europe. And that's what I did. I didn't bother about telling them every little detail on how this is my dream and this is that. I just focused on myself and focused on my career and doing the habits that were going to get me to that finish line. And by doing that, over time, like my mom, for example, who was on the fence, she over time saw that I am capable of this, that I can do this, because I had the habits in place that shows that I am capable. Right? If you don't have the right habits in place, then you're never going to get there. And that's the honest truth. Whether it's the gym, training, not doing dumb stuff like drinking, smoking, right? Diet, right? It's these little things that, when you add them together over time, compound and are going to increase development when you're young. And by following these habits that are a telltale sign of, alright, maybe you do have some potential. Maybe you can pull this off. And then from a parent's perspective, when they see their kid actually treating this like a career, where they're going through the right steps, they're doing the right things, it gives them more confidence that, alright, maybe my kid can do this. But when you aren't doing the right steps, when you're eating like crap, when you're barely training, you don't have the right habits in place, but yet you're talking a big game, no one, whether it's your parents, a coach, no one is going to believe that you can do it. So the first step to having people start to believe in you is to go and put in the work. Because over time, they'll see the work, and they'll see that you're serious and that you are capable of doing this. And it starts by the small habits that you do daily. The daily small habits is a huge key to having people believe in you. And when they don't believe in you, it is the key to getting them to go from non-believers to true believers. The second part of this is a plan B. I think when it comes to football, the idea of burning your ships is foolish. Because the reality is, football is very brutal, and probability is a massive factor in whether you become successful or not, much like gambling. For most footballers, the probability of making a big career in football is next to nothing. Especially if you're a player trying to play pro, it's very, very small. only less than 1% make it pro, and even fewer stay as pros through their entire career. So it's a massive game of probability. Because of that, it is not a bad idea to have a plan B. And for parents who have doubts, who have objections, one thing to put their mind at ease is to tell them, hey, I have a plan B. This is what I want to pursue. I want to pursue professional football. This is the main goal. But if that doesn't work, don't worry. I got a plan B. And the nice thing with football is you can have your plan B inside of football as well. So what I did to help ease my mom, for example, and she was the most difficult one to convince. My dad was always supportive. My stepdad, there was no winning him over. But my mom, like I said, she was on the fence. But one thing that eased her mind was me having a plan B. And for me, that plan B was coaching. If I couldn't go play the game professionally, I would go coach it. If I couldn't coach it, I'll go ref it. If I can't ref it, I'll go be an agent, work in the office for a club, right? And nothing else, I'll go be a kit man, right? And that's what I told her. No matter what, I'm going to have a career in football. I don't know how it's going to look like. I don't know if it'll be playing professionally. I don't know if you'd be being a kit man or a manager, but I was going to have a career in football. That was a guarantee. But the main goal was to play overseas in Europe and try to play professionally. And that's what I told her. That's what I explained to her. And by telling her that yes, I have a plan B, that yes, I'm still going to pursue this big ambition, but for whatever reason, the stars don't align, because that does happen. I have a safety net to fall back on. And that really helped ease her mind, and eventually, she got on board with me going overseas to Europe, which I was able to do. Now, full disclosure, I did not go and sign professionally. Like I said, truth is there's a lot of factors that go into making to professional, staying persistent. For me, a big problem was money. I went overseas for one season, couldn't afford to go back. Well, that is a huge limiting factor towards playing professional. So, and that's why none of my videos I'm going to claim to be professional, but I did go overseas to Europe. And for me, that was a huge short-term goal that I had. And within a few years of graduating high school, I wanted to go overseas. And I did that far quicker than I ever imagined. And even the idea of going overseas scared my mom. Like, she just did not like it. It took a long time to convince her. But by having the right habits in place, and by explaining to her that I do in fact have a safety net to fall back on, worst case scenario, those two things combined gave her the confidence to believe that I can pull this off. And I did pull it off. And those two things right there, I think, are the two best tips I can give anyone who deals with parents that object or don't believe in your ambitions. Like I said, parents are very tough, and I'm never going to tell you to ignore your parents or to, tell them to fuck off. I think it's very important to honor and respect your parents, but if worst case scenario, if they just aren't on board, they don't believe in you, then don't disrespect your parents, but focus on yourself. Focus on your game and improving your football by following daily habits, right? Training every day, eating right, avoiding vices. Be a part of a good friend group that is supportive, that will uplift you, right? Not friends that are going to drag you down, but friends that are going to lift you up. Those daily habits are immensely important. And I know I'm repeating these things a lot, but it is so important. Daily habits is the foundation of a good player at any level. And if you want to convince people that you are a capable player, daily habits is the key. And then as far as parents, another tip is, yes, have a plan B. It's alright to have a plan B. Right? You can still commit 100% to plan A and still have a plan B. And a plan B, it doesn't take much. Give it 10 minutes of thought, come up with an idea of a plan B. That's enough to convince parents in many cases. and you can still focus 100% and 100% dedicate yourself to plan A. You don't have to give much energy to plan B. Just have the idea there. Once the idea is there, you don't have to worry about it. Again, go 100% on plan A. And like I said, sometimes you just can't convince them. It happens. But mom was on the fence, and yeah, the best thing I could have done was just to show her, through my actions, show her that I am capable. So I can tell her everything, like I'm going to do this and this and this, and this is my dream, and blah 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 blah. Words don't carry the same weight as actions. That's why you have to, through your actions, show that you're capable. Whether it's to a parent, whether it's to a coach, to a scout, to an agent, it's your actions that are always going to carry the most weight in proving that you are a good footballer, that you are a capable footballer, that is a valuable asset in this world. So, like I said, this is just an improv video. There's no script. That's why I'm kind of rambling on, repeating myself. Improv video. This is the first one. But this was my thoughts. Like I said, I had someone DM me on Instagram through my business, and that inspired me to make this video. I was very touched by his story and his situation because I relate to it. And this is the advice that I gave him. And like I said, for anyone who's struggling with parents, trying to get their parents, to believe in them, this is the best advice that, in my opinion, anyone can give. This is what I've done. This advice has worked for me. Because I've had, like I said, a supportive parent, a parent that was on the fence, and one that wasn't supportive. I've had it all. And like I said, these two things helped me immensely. And so if you're struggling with parents, so take these two things, apply them to your life, and see if through these two things, can you turn the non-believers into believers and get them on board with you and your dreams.